Hi. Morning.
Oh, hey.
What do you say to Democrats who don't think you're the best person who can beat Donald Trump?
Well, I would say look at how Democrats win. Every single time a Democrat has won, in not just my lifetime, but the last 50 or 60 years, it's been somebody from the new generation offering a different kind of message, and somebody who's either from outside Washington or hasn't been there for too long. By contrast, every single time we have tried to play it safe with the most established and, let's say, Washington tenured figures, every single time we've come up short. If we really want to win, we have to present a different kind of message and speak not only to everything that's wrong with this president, but everything that we have to fix about this country. Otherwise, we're not speaking to the issues in places like the industrial Midwest where I live, where people's fury and frustration helped get us to where we are now.
But even in the Midwest, polls recently showed that Vice President Biden is actually the best candidate. What's your response to that?
I disagree.
So, the upcoming debate, a lot of the focus, frankly, is on the first time we're seeing Vice President Biden and Elizabeth Warren matching up. Have you changed your debate strategy? How do you plan to stand out?
We're really working our own plan. When there are this many competitors, it doesn't make sense to think too much about them. What we will do is demonstrate that I represent a different choice, one that can actually unify Americans. I believe that having a bold response to the enormity of the challenges can be done in a way that brings us together instead of dividing us. A good example is the idea of Medicare for all who want it. Yes, we get to universal coverage, but no, we don't kick anybody off of their plan. And in many other ways, I'm going to present how there is an opportunity here to bring Americans together, not by watering down our values, but by finding a unifying path forward on everything from climate to gun safety to immigration to wages to race to healthcare.
Mayor, on that note, 10 candidates on one stage. Are you feeling more pressure to stand out this time around?
Well, I think it's an opportunity to have the stage winnowed down a little bit, still 10 at a time, but also now it looks like we at least know, looking at that stage, that the nominee will emerge from that group. And to us, it's a great opportunity to advance further. Look, I've advanced past the first 20 or so candidates that I needed to overtake. Now we've got some bigger hills to climb, and that's what the next 6 months or so are for.
Mayor Buttigieg, you have the average American who will go to their doctor and will sometimes, they can have a life-threatening illness where the doctor will say you have to eat less meat and so on and so forth. And they have a hard enough time even limiting their diet to healthy foods. And now you have Democrats such as yourself who say, yeah, no more meat. We're thinking about maybe.
Sorry, can you give a citation on that?
But like basically.
No, but just on that characterization.
No, but basically, Americans have a hard enough time limiting their diet to healthy foods.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. Now you're looking to saying to them, limit burgers, limit the combustion engine. How do you expect to have the average American to really support your plan on climate change?
Mm-hmm. Could you just give the citation that explains the characterization about
how do you expect to persuade the average voter to support climate change?
Oh, sure.
As far as your proposal is concerned.
Because I believe, well, two reasons. First of all, I believe Americans are capable of extraordinary things. And I think it is a dim view of the American people to believe that we suddenly have become incapable of change. And that means more balance in our lives. I think we're up to that. The second thing is, we literally cannot afford to keep doing the same thing forever. I would love to hear a conservative plan on confronting climate change. But the conservative plan is literally to pretend it doesn't exist. And that amounts to a national security threat.
Mayor Buttigieg, on the issue of guns, I'm wondering what you make of the idea of a mandatory buyback of assault weapons. Do you support that idea? And could you explain your thinking on your position there?
So I would focus on banning new sales. We got a big enough lift there. Plus, we got to do background checks and red flag laws. Then we'll see what the next logical steps are for this country. We got more than enough on our plate with that, in my view.
One more.
Mayor, given the controversy surrounding the policing and how it was handled in South Bend under your administration, how would you specifically handle police brutality and racism in the police force as president?
Well, I think the federal government can play a very constructive role. So as we were working through a number of challenges in South Bend over the years, it really made a difference when we had access to things like the 21st Century Policing Commission that the Obama administration had, helping set standards for data, transparency around the use of force. That's part of how we've reduced use of force complaints in our own city. Making sure that we have a Department of Justice and an administration that is supportive of police accountability, as well as racial justice more broadly, is imperative in order for us to get anywhere. And it's beyond even the matters that are within the field of policing and criminal justice, because certainly in my community, where we're wrestling with really tough issues around race and policing, every time we start a conversation on this topic, by the end, it's not only about that. It's about issues of economic disempowerment and what's going on with neighborhoods, housing, and health. It's why my Douglas plan proposes that we take a systematic approach to this, recognizing that no one issue related to racial justice in this country can be handled in isolation from the others.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.